On today's show, we are going to dig into why Peter loves ad-supported content so much. In favor of ad-supported content when Netflix does it, against ad-free content when Facebook does it. We're going to dig deep. Let's get into it.
We're not allowed to swear within the first 30 seconds or so, but believe me, I would like to right now.
I already said let's get into it. Sorry. All right, a couple stories about ad-supported versus premium content. Again, long discussions about this in our Discord server. You should absolutely 100% come join us on Discord. Great community growing over there.
At least subscribe so you can hear us request you to join Discord on a daily basis.
Well, I assume they've already subscribed, right, guys? I mean, you've already subscribed, obviously. So I'm not going to insult them, Peter. They clearly have subscribed and smashed that like button. So I wasn't even, that goes without saying. At any rate.
Okay. All right.
So Netflix offers ad-supported plan, and anybody who's been in Discord knows Peter's in favor of this. Also, Facebook offers an ad-free plan that Peter hates. So I think the lesson here is that Peter just loves ads.
That could be the conclusion you come to. Do you know what? Yeah.
I don't know what else you could. What other conclusion you could draw?
Okay.
Should we address the specifics?
Okay. The Netflix thing, I think, has worked out, and surprisingly, a lot of people thought it was going to be a disaster, right? I think
John, I think, was one of them.
Yeah. I think maybe I might have said something along those lines before, but I'm not going to...
To be fair, we don't know John's opinion because he doesn't participate in Discord. John, I don't know if you know this, but we have a Discord server for the show.
Wait, really?
You should join in.
What's Discord?
He's far too busy, man. Don't like.
I'm a busy man. I'm a busy guy. Okay, and as a fellow American, I will tell you that
he's got to be selective about his Discord servers that he joins.
Netflix,
he can't just join any old. Yeah, go on.
In the pooper. Okay.
No credit for this ad-supported free plan or lower cost plan.
Terrible. Oh my god. Honestly, the only people I'm happy for is the 15 million monthly active users who get to pay less, but also fuck Netflix for this. Like, wow. Just wowza.
How are you happy for the people that benefit from it, but hate the company that offered that opportunity?
Because the opportunity is predatory. They're like, hey, also, I bet I don't have this feature, so I don't know, but I bet if like an ad comes, right, they're doing all sorts of gross like collection of data on you through the gross predatory features that are on smart TVs.
Interestingly, that ties into Peter's criticism of the Facebook option.
Well, okay, can we just about the Netflix thing? I have to say that they've done a couple of things which sound quite cool. They have, first of all, they're planning to offer 1080p to ad supported users.
So are they not right now?
I know
they just do 720.
Really?
Oh, so yeah, tell me why I should like this. Like, how can you? They're going to, bro. 4K is a standard now.
Then pay for the service.
I understand that bandwidth is. I understand that bandwidth is heavy, right? It costs money. Yeah. So you can at least offer 1080. 1080 costs fucking nothing to stream. Oh my god, shame on Netflix.
Shame.
Go on.
Okay.
It's a lower. Okay. If you want the higher quality, pay for the higher quality. I don't even understand this.
God, I can't believe
entitled
deep breath
fucking Gen Z.
I'm actually a millennial.
I want free content all the time with no ads, and I deserve it.
You got it. Nailed it right on the head.
And actually, it doesn't surprise me that you're a millennial because I love Gen Z. They don't. It really is the millennials that are the problem here.
We're such a problem. We are the problem, actually.
No, you don't have to tell me. I'm Gen X. We know who the problem is, John.
As a millennial, I
never heard of that. What is that, Gen X?
Don't know if I can.
Nobody ever has. That's
Peter. You can't be like as a fellow millennial. Okay, go get your skateboard. All right, like my God, who are you pretending?
100%. Fucking Steve Buscemi over here.
Yeah. Like my fellow school mates.
Oh my god.
Okay. So they offered they're going to be offering 1080p, and they do this kind of. You're going to hate this, John. I know what your reaction is going to be, but I like it. Is that if you binge watch the ads, then you get if you binge watch episodes, then you get one ad-free episode. Like
they reward fucking you. Lying.
I knew you would know. I knew you would have this.
Are you serious? And you're like, this is a good thing. This is promoting addiction, damn near. They're like, if you spend 30 hours on our product, we'll fucking cock tease you a free episode.
Do you think no one? Anyway, we're doing that anyway. No, Jesus.
Yeah.
Honestly, no. Shame on Netflix for this.
Who doesn't binge watch Netflix?
Of course, I binge watch shows.
John has
I'm not saying
Netflix derangement syndrome.
All right. I love binging shows. I'm also a guy who will stretch a show for 3 months. I just finished The Sopranos for the first time. Actually, my God, what a show!
Don't tell me how it ends.
I won't.
No spoilers for this 20-year-old show.
And it's like, 23, 24 years old.
Is that old? Jesus.
But I didn't binge The Sopranos. I'd watch a couple episodes every other night, right? But then I'll like something like the greatly acclaimed cyberpunk Edge Runners TV show, which we all love. I watched that shit in a sitting.
Watching multiple episodes in a night is still binging.
I mean, honestly, I don't know if I agree.
I mean, maybe not an entire season.
I would finish a season, and that is what I consider a binge.
Maybe I mean, half a season. I'll give you. If you catch up on last week's and then watch this week's, cool. If you're talking about like 3 or more episodes, that's a binge.
3? You're cutting it at 3? I would say 5.
This is like you sound like a crack addict right now. You sound like a heroin. Like right? I could stop anytime. I just had 3 lines of coke tonight. Yeah. I mean, 4 lines maximum.
Exactly. You just proved my point. Actually, you literally just proved my point. Netflix is fucking. They're dangling this carrot in front of their ad-supported viewers, and they're like, "If you just finish 1 more," and it's like. Think about this. Yeah, what they're saying is if you watch 10 sets of episode-filled ads or ad-filled episodes, I mean, then you'll get 1 episode without an ad. It's like actual crack. They're like, get ready. My God, shame on Netflix.
Or you're doing this anyway, so here, have a bone.
Ugh.
Anyway. In Peter's further defense of ads, he is against Facebook offering an ad-free service.
Why are you against this, Peter? What's going on?
I am not against this.
Okay.
Mike is just winding me up deliberately. It's not the points that I make. We had a discussion about this on Discord, and I had to clarify myself multiple times, which I don't know if... basically, the thing is that in response to getting taken to court by the European Union for illegally tracking their users... basically, by forcing tracking on users, first of all, they said, but we've given a choice to people. They can choose to decline the option, or they can choose not to use the service. And he's like, no, you're such a huge platform. There's no real option to not do that. So then what they've done is that Meta has offered an ad-free version of Facebook and Instagram, which is
solving the problem.
Which is no. It's not. The problem with this, the problem that I tried to explain on Discord is that what's happened is that they said, you're tracking data illegally. And they went, you're tracking data illegally for targeted ads. And then they say, okay, here's an ad-free version. But they're still tracking people. They are still tracking people, and they're still doing the thing that is wrong, but they are implying that it's because it's an ad-free version, they're not tracking people. And I think the article from The Verge here is a good example of how people kind of get fooled. Like there's no talking, there's no discussion of the tracking that's been going on in this article. And I think what's going to happen is that they'll make this offer and say, it's ad-free. And then people will go, okay, that's cool. And like Mike says, people don't care about the tracking, so they'll just be happy with that ad-free version.
I guarantee
and
that's
then,
what happens.
Guarantee. Yeah, you're right. You're totally right. But actually the deceptive, the shitty behavior that they're doing is going to carry on happening. And then a group of people like noneofyourbusiness.eu or noib.eu or something like that is going to have to pipe up, take them to court again. The EU is going to like fine them again, and then they'll go back and find some other loophole to get through. But that's why it frustrates me.
And my position was that it's not misleading because no reasonable person could think they actually meant they were going to stop tracking in the first place.
Well, I think this article is an example of people who have been misled, to be honest. Because why would they write this whole article about, it's an ad-free version in response to illegal tracking?
Yeah, and that's what brought me around.
Control F
a little bit.
Type track, like just do tracking. Like if you just do Control F tracking in this article.
Oh, they don't say it. They just talk about
at all, like zero mention.
Ad targeting.
So that feels almost targeted, right? Like, oh, there we go.
It's very deliberate. I call it like political.
See, they're even saying that they're even saying like how many people are willing to escape its gaze.
But that's not Facebook saying that. That's The Verge saying it.
Sure. So but The Verge is. I wonder how much The Verge got for this article. The Verge is basically misrepresenting what's happening. That's fucked up.
But they're also. This is what people read, and then they're going to go, "Oh, okay, problem solved," or maybe that seems like a solution. By the way, I have to say that I think that if Facebook and Instagram, Meta, did actually provide a tracking-free version of their products, that would, it's
be useless.
I'm not a lawyer. No, I'm not a lawyer, and I don't know whether that would be an actual valid solution to the problem of illegal tracking. By offering another option, which is tracking free, even though it's paid, I don't know if that kind of like legally solves the problem. But I think a lot of people would be happy with it. I would actually pay a small amount if I could have a tracking free version of Facebook and Instagram. I'd be quite happy to use that and be part of the community and know that my data isn't being collected and stored and used to manipulate.
Last time I checked this, a Facebook user made Facebook and Meta now. It was something along the lines of $4 a year. Now you scale that up, and Facebook's 2 to 4 billion users are making them a lot of money.
$4 a month, I think it is.
Was it a month?
I don't know.
I thought it was a year because we're talking about cents, right? Like cents a month. But again, you scale that up, and it is a lot of money.
So recap your position, John.
Revenue per user, $9.62.
Oh, it's now $9. It's gone up to $9. So if Facebook said pay $15 a year,
the amount that they make, yeah.
So plus they get something. Plus they get $5.
Or they could pay us for the tracking data.
Or they could do the brave approach, right? Which is like not new. Which is revenue sharing the ads with the user.
Yep.
Because we are, at the end of the day, we are the product. We should get a little bit of piece from that.
Maybe. I don't know.
The problem, Peter, with the tracking free service is that it can't work. So a social media platform's value is its recommendation engine, and recommendation is facilitated by tracking. So you could argue it doesn't have to be as expansive. I don't want them tracking me on third-party sites.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm primarily talking about third-party resell value of you, right? Because if Facebook needs to provide a good service, they still need to know what I like. They still need to track what I like. They have to. Otherwise, it's just going to be the worst Google engine or the worst search or the worst everything all the time.
And to that extent, it is the ad targeting that's the issue, and the paid solution here does eliminate the ad targeting.
But they still sell data to third parties through tracking.
But hang on, sorry. I was saying that's a fair point, but I don't know if it is, because there's.
No, it is.
No, to me, and I'm just one data point, but That's not how I use Facebook. I've used it as an address book, a way to keep in contact with people that I've met like in the past, as a way to contact businesses in local areas, as a way to kind of get in become part of my local community. But I've always gone out and searched those things out myself. And I haven't used any of the recommendation stuff because I have a plugin which just removes all of that stuff for me. Yeah, I don't use any of it.
But you do, because Facebook prioritizes. I mean, so I don't know if you even can still do this. When Facebook started, I think it was a chronological view of posts by only people you followed. But even if you're not seeing recommendations of like people who you follow or friends with, it still prioritizes the post so that it puts in front of you what you think is going to be the most interesting.
No, the plugin I have explicitly works around that. It puts it in chronological order.
Oh, cool.
Because I don't like that, that recommendation.
I mean, it kind of breaks all of Facebook.
But Facebook, nobody would use Facebook if everybody had to use it that way. Like, you use a text-only email editor. Don't
a good example,
use yourself
which is an outlier. A good example,
which
is an outlier scenario, but a good example is I deactivated my Facebook 8 years ago, and I'll reactivate it once a year to like check in on. I'll be like, oh my god, I wonder what that person is doing now. So I'll reactivate and I'll go look, and I'll get caught in this like dark pattern where like I'll just start scrolling my timeline, and the only thing that's presented to me are ads and recommended things to like follow, like groups. I don't see anything from my 400, 500 people that I'm friends with, maybe one, but majority, I'm talking 99% of the things that I'm seeing is just, you'd like this, here's an ad, you'd like this, and then I just close it. Or, well, first go and re-deactivate, and then I just close it. And I don't go back for another year until I think of someone else that I was like, oh, I wonder what that person's doing. And the loop starts over again.
Yeah, so John and I my point was that the people who complain about the tracking on Facebook might be mollified by a paid version which doesn't track at all. I would be, probably. Maybe John would be. And we could use the platform safe in the knowledge that our data isn't being tracked. We don't use any of these recommendation features or whatever. And we're happy with that. We pay $15 a year or whatever. And so then maybe these lawsuits would calm down.
That would make me reactivate my Facebook permanently. Because $10, $15 a year is nothing. Like, we are really talking about nothing. That's $1 a month.
I would be surprised if that moved the needle in any way.
Sure.
Okay, just quickly, I wanted to give a shout out to unless.com. So they are a service which allows you to use an AI to kind of query your knowledge base. So it's like talking to an LLM based on your own personal document store or knowledge store. Specifically want to give them a shout out because they contacted me to be delisted from my block list. They used to be a kind of an analytics company, and that's why I added them. And if you use my block list or use uBlock Origin and try to go to them, as Mike did earlier, you might see my name pop up because it will block the domain until the filter lists have been updated. But so they contacted me, said, hey, we're not doing analytics anymore. Here's our privacy policy. We pivoted to this other thing. And I went and had a look. And so I took them off the list. But they sent me a link to their privacy policy. And down at the bottom of the privacy policy was a thing that said, we will satisfy any requests for personal data about you, but we will. But they charge €900, and I think they told me it's been gone now. So basically, I took them off my list because they're not doing analytics anymore. But I replied and I said, this is a bit shitty. I don't think you can reasonably charge. It's not a reasonable fee to charge €900. And they didn't have to do this, but I got a reply back from the person that contacted me saying, oh, I'll contact someone and look into that for you. And then I got a message today saying, we've removed it from our privacy policy, which is great. They didn't have to do it, and they did. And I just wanted to give them a bit of kudos. Yeah. So nice one. That's it.